What do you consider to be wealthy? Is it having 7 figures in your bank account, owning several properties in a major city, or maybe, like in the movies, having a penthouse apartment overlooking the entire city skyline? For most of us, our idea of wealth is really just a number. The bigger, the better. But what if I told you that wealth has little to do with how much money is in your bank? What if I told you that a person earning $30,000 a year could actually be wealthier than someone earning $100,000 a year? Sounds contradictory, right? Today, we're going to talk about a concept that will flip your conventional wisdom on its head: the 5 levels of wealth. Let's find out which level you're really on. The first level is called the survival player. You are like a player on a giant treadmill. This treadmill is called living expenses. Every month, your salary is like a supply drop. As soon as it arrives, you have to throw it right onto the treadmill: rent, utilities, food, transportation. You run with all your might just to stay in place and not fall off. You don't dare to stop, because the moment you do, the treadmill will throw you off. All your energy is spent on one word: maintaining. This is the first level of wealth, the survival player. The core sign of this level is living paycheck to paycheck. Your income is like a handful of sand passing through your fingers. It comes, it goes, and nothing remains. Forget about investing. You might not even know where next month's rent will come from. What do players at this level fear the most? The unexpected. An illness, a layoff, or even a broken refrigerator could mean an instant game over. All right, now you're running faster, or maybe the treadmill's demands on you have lessened. You can finally save a few coins each month. At this point, you make a decision: I need to build some defenses. So, you start using these coins to dig a small moat around your little house. This moat is your emergency fund. It's not wide or deep, perhaps only enough to withstand 3 to 6 months of unexpected shocks. But its existence gives you an unprecedented sense of security. At the same time, you start filling in the high-interest debt traps around you, like credit card installments and various online loans. Congratulations, you've leveled up. You've become the second level of wealth, the Moat Builder. Your goal is no longer to outrun the treadmill in front of you, but to establish a stable home base. You start to possess the ability to resist risk. While you haven't started to attack yet, at least you won't be easily knocked down by a small wave of minions. Your moat is built, and your base is stable. You start to have more idle coins in your hand. What do you do with them? Bury them in the ground or let them get moldy in a warehouse? No. A smart player sees these coins as magical seeds. You start to cultivate land and plant these seeds. Some seeds you plant in a field called stocks, some in a field called funds, others you simply buy a small piece of land, which is called an asset. You've become the third level of wealth, the money seeder. The core of this level is that you've finally understood one thing: it's not about you working for money, but about money working for you. You no longer rely solely on active salary income. You start to wield a new weapon called passive income. Although the fruits from these small saplings are few at first, maybe just enough for a cup of coffee, you have transformed from a laborer into an investor. Your wealth has begun to have the ability to self-replicate. Year after year, you plant more and more seeds. The small saplings have now grown into vast orchards. You don't have to do anything all day. The coins falling from these fruit trees are enough for you and your family to live a very prosperous life. That living expenses treadmill that once exhausted you now looks like a ridiculous toy. You are now the fourth level of wealth, the orchard owner. We usually call this state financial freedom. Note, financial freedom doesn't mean you have endless money to spend. It means your passive income has completely covered, or even exceeded, your total daily expenses. At this level, work is no longer a means of livelihood for you, but a choice, an interest. You can travel the world, pursue your childhood dreams, or spend all your time with your family. You have truly reclaimed the power of choice in your life. What happens when the orchard you own is large enough to cover the entire map? Your every decision no longer just affects yourself. Whether you decide to plant apples or pears this year will directly impact the world's fruit prices. Which piece of land you decide to water will become prosperous, while the other will fall into drought. You are no longer just a player. You've become the one who can change the rules of the game. This is the ultimate form of wealth, the fifth level, the rule maker. At this level, money has completely lost its meaning to you. It's just a tool, an instrument to realize your will. What you consider is how to use your wealth to influence the economy, change policies, or even advance human civilization. They establish foundations, invest in cutting-edge technology, fund global education. They are no longer content with winning the game. They want to define the future of the game itself. So, let's go back to the original question. What does it mean to be wealthy? You see, the essence of wealth is never a static number. It's a dynamic hierarchy. A survival player living in a mansion but needing to pay huge loans and expenses every month, who would collapse if their cash flow broke, is in a far worse state of wealth than a moat builder living in a small apartment with no debt and a stable passive income. These 5 levels, the survival player, the moat builder, the money seeder, the orchard owner, and the rule maker, provide a brand new map. It tells us that what's important isn't how much money you have now, but what level you're on, and what your next target level is. So, what about you? What level of wealth are you currently on? And what kind of plan do you have for the next step? Let's talk about it in the comments.